Hey gang, it's Ryan. I just wanted to share a video blog very briefly. From time to time on my blog I will write things or I will post videos, or from time to time I may actually do my own video. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is just a neat happening in our life for my wife and I, and that is the ability to have fostered a child. We have just started to foster a little girl. I cannot and I will not give out the details of the daughter or the family that's involved, but because that's actually not central to what it is that I want to share. What I want to share is how God has been teaching me so much about my own life through the life of this child. And I've been just very grateful and very thankful that my wife and I have been given the opportunity to take care of this little girl. I'm grateful for the opportunity that God has given us to love and hopefully to minister to the family of this girl as well as they kind of navigate through some of the things that they're dealing with. But I've just been so grateful for this opportunity for a couple of reasons in particular. Number one, I feel like this is one of those times where the gospel has become so tangibly alive in my life based on what God has moved in us to do. It is not natural for me to think about fostering a child that may or may not be mine in the long run. That's the thing. I don't know how long we'll have this child. It could be for a week, it could be for a month, it could be for 12 months, it could be forever. I really don't know. I don't know what the outcome is going to be for my family in all of this. I don't know about all the stresses that my wife and I are going to deal with this. I don't know if we're going to be able to build a great bridge between the biological family and ourselves. I really don't know. I don't even know what the future of this beautiful girl is. But what I do know is that God has turned my world upside down. And He has put in my heart a desire, and in my wife's heart a desire, to try to meet some tangible needs in the lives of people that are around us every day. And as that has happened in our lives, I just feel as if just the understanding of the call within God's Word to meet the needs of the orphan and the widow in the book of James, but also in other places. It has just been amazing to see how God has moved in our hearts. And I would like to take credit and say that, well, you know, my wife and I were good people, and it just was natural for us to want to do this. It's not. It is unnatural for us to want to do this. It is the gospel that is alive in us that provokes us to do this. And I just, for what it's worth, I wanted to be able to communicate that. I know that not everybody watches this blog, and I'm totally fine that you don't read or you watch my videos or whatever. In fact, some of this is just, honestly, it's just therapeutic for me to get this information out so that I can see what God is doing in my own life. But what I would encourage you to think about and to pray about is God calling you to do something that would turn culture on its ear? I have a person in my life who has really been a great influence, and that is a missiologist by the name of Dr. Dwight Smith. And even though Dwight and I are not relationally the closest because of just job and because of geography, I have had the great opportunity to learn a number of things from him. And one of the things that he talks about is, as Christians, we should be living a life where we set culture on its ear. That in the case of a marriage, if a husband were to cheat on a wife, instead of just divorcing and moving on, what if you turned culture on its ear and you took them back? What if instead of living with your hands closed with your resources, just thinking about yourself and about your future, you opened your hands and you lived with open hands? What if we set culture on its ear? And I just think about, this is one of those moments where, as I've interacted with friends and family and a lot of people, I don't want to take credit for setting culture on its ear. I want to thank God for moving in our hearts to help us set culture on its ear. The only good thing coming out of this is not from Aaron and I. It is from the gospel within us that would want us to set culture on its ear. And again, I don't know if we're actually going to be very good foster parents. I hope that we will be. But I am blown away by the opportunity that God would give us, as we have said yes to this, to be able to try to help tangibly meet the need of a family in Western New York. And it's my sincere hope that we don't do this just for the sake of doing good things, but that there would be a gospel opportunity, a clear articulation gospel opportunity, not just in presence, but also in proclamation of God's word to this family and to this child. I don't know if God will give us that opportunity. I hope that He does. But this is something that in our own spiritual formation, which we value a lot here in our church, we talk about growing in intimacy with God. We talk about being in Christ-like relationships with other believers. We talk about the need to discover our gifts. And we talk about the need to know our grace story. And then finally to live with open hands. This is just one of those moments in our own spiritual formation as a married couple where God is doing something really cool. And I just wanted to share about it. God bless you. And who knows, maybe God might be working in your heart to consider one of these things as well.